So a little bit of history and rationale behind the pre-departure services. As you know, there is a declining demographics in Canada, and the aging of the population also, which means that Canada's population is not replacing itself. And some statistics says that in 2016, the newcomers will be the only source of net labor market growth in Canada. And there's also another element that makes us go to the federal government to ask for funding for pre-departure services was the fact that the newcomers had sometimes difficulty to land jobs in par with their knowledge and their skills and their abilities. So these are all reasons why we sat with the government and asked them if they would fund a project. So in 2005, HRSDC decided to fund for 5 years, so 2005 to 2010, a program to serve the federal skills workers, so only them then, in the late stage of immigration to Canada from China, India, and the Philippines through offices in Guangzhou, Delhi, and Manila. So between 2005 and 2010, we served over 9,000 clients. And then the program was funded by CIC, Citizenship Immigration Canada, from 2010 to 2014. It's ending basically at the end of March. And we added the provincial nominees also, and serving in 25 countries through the same field offices, so the 3 ones that we had. And we added the UK, London office. And we served during that period from October 2010 to the fall 2013. We served over 14,000 clients. A little bit of sometimes issues for the newcomers coming to Canada. They're unsure of where to find the information and what support services are offered to them also. When we discuss that with them, they're kind of overwhelmed. They don't know that they have access to all that information and those services once they come here or even before they leave their country. They're not prepared for the credential recognition also. It is something that is, they think that with the diplomas that they already have and the education that they have, it will not be an issue for them to just come to Canada and get that recognized. Also, they're not used to our Canadian way of doing job search. They show us their resume, which is about this thick with tons of information in there and listing of things that they do. And so we show that we tell them that this is not quite the way that we do things in Canada. Also, they're a bit confused about the licensure process. It is for them a lot of information to process and a lot of steps to take, and it takes a long time. Language skills was discussed previously, the cultural adaptation also depending on their source country, and also the narrow destination choice. They know someone from the family or a friend who lives in Canada in a certain province or a city, and they want to go there, not even analyzing what the job market is for them if they go there. So they need a lot of support. The CIP's mandate really is a labor market integration. That's what it is. We help immigrants find a job when they come to Canada, so we don't provide that service directly, but we inform them on how to do that and also how to settle in Canada. We want them to be able to achieve a career that is relevant to their skills, to their education, and to their experience. We do not encourage what we call the survival jobs. We don't want them to work in something that is completely different from what they're doing, but we do ask them to analyze sometimes the possibility of having an alternate career. This was discussed previously. We don't encourage that, but we give them the information. If they're in licensing procedure, that will take a long time. Maybe they have other things that they can look at and work in a field that will recognize their competency as opposed to another job. So the outcomes basically is for them to have a more realistic understanding of opportunities and challenges in Canada so that they can make the well-informed decision about where to go and what to do to be successful and to be more competitive and able to contribute to the economy more quickly. The offices, as I mentioned, 25 countries served in 4 offices. It is a voluntary registration, so CIC informed the clients that when they're in the late stages of their immigration process, that this is available to them. It is free service, and they encourage them to register, but it is not mandatory. They can attend the sessions with their spouse and the adult children also. And we deliver either face-to-face or in the field offices or off-site and also online. The design, so briefly, there are group orientations, the action plan and the platform and the follow-up. So the group orientation, we meet with the clients for a whole day, groups of 15 to 20 clients, and we go through different subjects, and questions that they ask themselves during that process is, why am I here? How do I take advantage of the opportunities that are offered to me? How do I overcome the challenges? How do I get the right job for me? How do I keep my job and advance in my career once I'm in Canada? And how do I prepare and actively plan to come to Canada? Also the action plan, this is an individualized plan that we do with them. So the next day usually we meet with them individually for an hour or 2, depending if there are 1 or 2 people. And we give them a document that's about 10 pages with all the links that refers them to all the agencies and the focal point partners who we work with here in Canada. So there are immigrant serving organizations, educational institutions, employer partners, and these agencies or associations receive also the action plan and then can contact the client before they come to Canada. So we put a lot of emphasis on that. They have to start preparing before they come here, because they will find that it's too hard once they're here to start all that preparation process. Just a quick overview of the participants profile. Maybe just your attention to the NOC codes. So since we're here to discuss health, the one from last bullet, I don't know if that's the way we say it, is 26% in health-related profession. So when they choose a NOC code to which they want to work in, so as we can see, it's quite high. FSW is for federal skilled worker and PN for provincial nominees. So impressive results. I'm not going to go through that. These are percentage of satisfaction of clients. So as you can see, it's quite high. And also the statistics are related to if they find a job and if it's in their related profession also. So you can see that it's still quite high. So almost 24,000 clients, as I mentioned before, that were served up to now. And also stories. I just want to take 1 minute to tell you that I heard a live testimony this morning. I left from Ottawa to come here. I took a plane, and when I arrived at the Terminal 3 in Pearson's, there was a young lady there trying to find her way. So I was at the bus, waiting for the bus to take the subway, and she wanted information. So with my very limited knowledge of the Toronto transit system, I gave her a little bit of directions, and then we sat on the bus, and she has this big coat on, so I asked her where she was from, and she said, oh, Edmonton. I said, okay, how long have you been there? So she says, 3 years. She says, oh, it's very hot here because Edmonton's very cold. I said, yes, it is cold. So the big boots, the big coat and everything, and she said, oh, I should move here. So I asked her where she was from, and she said, the Philippines. So sitting across, we're 3 clients on the bus, sitting across from her right there, so we're like 3 in a triangle, and a lady says, oh, I'm from Philippines too. So there you go, 2 Filipinos. And so I said, I have to ask you a question. Did you do the CIP program when you were there before coming to Canada? And both of them said yes. I couldn't believe it. The lady who was there, she said she did it in 2005, and the one I was talking to, she did it 3 years ago. So there you go. And there we had one comment, very shy, you know, they're like this. Oh, it's very good program. So there you go. So thank you for your attention.